Yespixel, episode 3 with our guest, Miles Away. Miles, how's it going?
That's me. Pretty good, pretty good.
Buddy,
Hello.
it's good to have you on, finally.
He was supposed to be our first guest, but
Okay,
he was
well,
like,
we had a much better guest
"Ooh,
last week.
Saturday,
Way
Saturday,
better.
mate."
I don't know. you guys said last week, but I mean, if this is episode 3, I must have been the second guest, right?
No, the first guest was just the boys.
Oh,
Real quick,
Yep.
52 Chains is doing a thing. The Marabunta Grande is getting a flag, and he's an OG, so they're having a thing.
Oh.
So they're doing their celebration for that. So he'll be in a little late.
Yep. This is
That's
the
good
Yespixel
shit.
podcast, after all, which means that No Pixel may take precedence at some point for some of its members. So
That's right.
Hey, hi, hello, everybody out there in the land of the interwebs.
Oh yeah, should I do like
Welcome.
when I intro? Should I be like, "Welcome to the Yespixel, the unofficial No Pixel podcast about 3 idiots talking about video games and their lives and their wives' butts and stuff."
it doesn't work
Guys,
because it's
it's
gonna
me,
be full.
Stanky Leg. Welcome to the podcast.
Wow, perfect stanky leg. That's nice.
Thanks,
R.I.P.
man.
Stanky Leg.
All
What do you mean R.I.P.?
R.I.P.
What do you
I just
mean?
forced the
You
perma
forced
right here.
permanent? Son of a bitch.
He died with
That's
Whitley
not
at
good.
sea. They were on a voyage in the great
so this is
ocean.
actually
They're
one of
both
my
dead.
this is one of my questions I had written down. I didn't know Stubble and Whitley were both played by you until Troms told me out of character.
When?
This was like
It
a
was
few weeks
recently.
ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Like we've known each other on Stubble and Hydra for months.
I know.
And you never
I
knew
didn't
that,
know.
you know, I was your
Whit-
captain.
You're Whitley Booth. Dude, I loved when we were fucking around with the Lost and you took me to get my ass beat by them.
Oh my god, yeah. that was a story. I mean, that was the same day that we had the water fight where you beat down a lady metal detecting and she vanished to Poseidon's depth because
Oh no.
I think she quit.
she
And,
definitely FA quit 100%.
Yeah, she FA quit after Hydra had beaten her down.
She had,
And,
she had a level 3
Yeah,
metal
that's
detector. It
excellent
was high
cop work.
value back then.
Yeah, so we just role played it out that Poseidon had eaten her up for her crimes or something.
That was actually
great.
That was wild.
that was the moment that I knew you were definitely somebody I wanted to RP with. I already liked your RP as Whitley Booth, the pirate, but when you very smoothly played off someone being a shithead and didn't make it a big deal, I was like, oh, yes,
Love
dude, my
that.
people.
I don't give a shit. I just like it happened. I just go on to the next thing. You know, it's like
That's the perfect way to start this off because, ladies and gentlemen, we have an excellent show for you guys today. Not only do we have Miles_away on pretty much all social media here, but also we're going to be talking about controversy. That's right.
Ooh.
All kinds of no, I'm kidding. We
Spicy.
might. I actually do have a couple of topics that I'd like to bring up, but before we get into that, Miles. My brother,
me.
my actual brother. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us about your characters. You know, how long you've been on. Just anything you want to say about yourself.
I'm miles away. I've been streaming for I think it's going to be 5 years soon. I was a PUBG grinder and streamer. Then I moved to No Pixel at the start of 3.0, 1 month in. Started off with a civilian character, Whitley Booth, who dabbled in crime. Then the Littleman brothers kind of blew up last summer, me and Troms. And
we
it was
actually
with the
blew up.
Littleman brothers that I discovered the life of crime and cop, and I discovered the prison, where I then moved into the prison with my DOC character Stubble. Loved that for a good 7-8 months, then started hating that for a while, and moved to PD, and I've been there the last 8 months, and that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment.
Okay. Well, what about some characters? Because I personally know the character and the exact moment that I met you, and it's right
So
up
do
here.
I.
I'll never
Yep.
forget it. So,
It was second day on the server. The first day I'd met Arthur Morgan and Raylene Wet Cooch, and we were running around with them. And then the next day,
Oh, wow.
yep, that's a throwback.
Wow.
that
Raylene.
is such a throwback.
It was the second day I'd run into them again, and they were getting off. And I was at the apartments. I was walking up, and I saw this guy in a red jacket, and I was like, that guy kind of looks like a guy. That might be a man of the seas. So I just approached him, and I was early days. Whitley was 150%. Like Whitley was 100% always really loud,
He was
but
always
the
on.
early days, it was so much. 12 hours a day, every day. Like, Start 3.0, I was doing like 70, 80 hours a week, just constantly, just like, how's it going tonight? And it was just like, that's how I met Tropes. I just walked up to him, just started screaming at him. And he was like, you know, obviously I called him a pirate straight away, and the P word was very big back then. So that was when Whitley learned about how the taboo of the P word, and that was when we met. And I think it was you and Harry and
I don't
Spoonerism.
remember. You
was-
totally
I know it.
overshadowed whoever I was with at the time.
It was you and
because-
Spoonerism, and you instantly threw me in your car, and we were just driving around for hours. We're just driving around, shooting the shit, talking, saying tales, all the
It's
adventures that we're just
still-
making up on the spot.
To this day, blows my mind that two pirates just suddenly out of nowhere meet at the perfect time
The
outside
perfect
the
window.
apartments.
Yep.
And then like I could tell right away. I was like, my first impression of you was, holy shit, a pirate, and then holy shit was overshadowed by, he's doing it better than me, like 1,000 times better than me.
It was just a different kind of pirate.
"Oh, I have to step up my game now. Like this guy, he's using.
It's
like,
because I had
better
my Google
lingo."
Doc. I had my Google Doc, and I still have it. Hold on.
Okay.
If other tab, I go to Documents, and in my most recent one, last opened July 9th, 2022, Seaman Talk.
He has
It
a fucking
is
document. I love
it is 6 pages long.
It's just quotes
It
and shit.
has pirate code on there, and it has common pirate lingo, from insults to greetings to random things.
Dude.
Like combing is the pirate word for a surface that prevented water on the deck from dripping to lower levels of the ship. So there was just like there was ones that I would use all the time, like son of a biscuit eater. It's just an insult. That's the description. It's just an insult, and I would use it all the time. Briny deep, I would love that one.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Clap of Thunder was a really good one because Whitley was a massive alcoholic early on. I would just always go for the tavern
rum.
absinthe, and I just always get
Oh
drunk.
my! I
Absinthe,
remember.
I remember.
I
that
remember
shit,
learning
man.
how to drive. Raylene, going back to, she taught Whitley how to drive like a week or two into being in the city because I was just role playing that he had never been in a car before, just always on a ship.
Yep.
He was just
Hell
smashing
yeah.
into things left, right, and center.
Sounds like
I'd
Stinky
have-
like trying to drive.
Very similar experience on Moosebeard, although I kind of brought some of Moosebeard's experiences from another roleplay server over. So a guy who I think he still role plays. He might role play on NoPixel as well, but his name is Roach TM or something like that.
Roach.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's
Sounds like the most Call of Duty name. Roach.
Roach. It's Roach.
Roach.
He,
Listen up, Roach. We got an objective.
he had this limousine driver guy who was like he was like a recovering alcoholic, and he taught Moosebeard how to drive. He was like one of Moosebeard's friends like really early on. So I kind of brought that over to NoPixel. Was like he'd already kind of done his like learning how to be a proper human being after time traveling,
Yeah,
right?
like Booba did.
One
That
thing I'm-
when Booba did it was amazing.
his oh geez, Fiend Dota and the Booba arc of him literally learning how to speak, how to be a proper human, and he's a cop now.
That's so
That's
wild.
still just-
man.
Progression's awesome.
His
I
progression is
literally
really
remember
good.
when
What
Fiend would just go,
dedication.
Uba, Uba.
Yeah, so good.
I remember running into him at the farmer's market. I was just thinking, like, this is insane. Like, the amount of people that were just enabling it too was great.
Yeah,
Like, everybody just saw him and just like gravitated to him, wanted to like help him progress to evolve.
Yeah,
it's funny.
there's a couple of characters like that, like Booba, and for me, one of the big ones was Pillbot.
Yeah,
Characters like that you just see and you're like, oh, there's so much. You don't even think in your head like there's so much roleplay potential here. You just think like, I want to help this character. I want to help this person. They like become like this like thing in your mind that you're really excited to actually go and help.
Yep.
And you kind of forget that you're role playing. And I think moments like that and characters like that make those moments are incredible.
going back to talking about Whitley Booth. One thing and I don't think this gets brought up enough. I know you got your document. I know you got all that, but it was the way you formed sentences that really got me. You'd be IBR or something like that. Like you have it's very piratey, right?
it's
like
a
a
different
full-
like cadence to the way they speak, right?
Right.
Like
I
you
think
gotta.
we had a nice contrast too, or we still do, where Moose Beard is he's a little bit seasoned, right? He's
Yeah.
got to be kind of the leadery type, kind of, because he's leading 18 big burly hairy shirtless men, right? So, and he's got. I always wanted to play him with like a little bit of like
I
a
would say
smooth
Barbosa is
drawl.
how, like, Barbosa, the way he carries himself and talks, and he's very, very professional, polite, posh, upper class, but yet still pirate lingo, and that's
Right.
always how I viewed Moosebeard. Was this grand captain that has been around the world multiple times, and he knows how to lead the men. And Whitley is this, this wild card, this fresh fish that's probably just got a few years under his belt and is full of energy. And that's like what I wanted to do, was just have this just so loud and just crazy character. And I remember a few times like being at the Rooster's Rest, and people walk in, they're there for their food, they just want to get in and out, and then they just get bombarded with just pirate, so loud pirate, just
Yeah.
Like, oh
the
right,
most ridiculous things.
this isn't just a food stop for my character. This is a
Yeah.
role play experience.
That's,
Yeah, that's something I always wanted to do. And Trum's the same at Rooster's Rest. We would always try and like up each other, trying to just like improve the Roosters roleplay, the restaurant roleplay, try and get better and better things. We had the whole sauce thing, the whole bits in the kitchen where I think multiple times you set the kitchen on fire. It was just it was like
Yeah.
what was a thing of just go over there and pick up your food became a go up there and just watch a scene play out but be involved. That was something I always tried to do, was like try and get the people buying the food involved with the scene, and it was always super fun.
Yeah, there was so much role play to be had in something so small. For those of you who aren't familiar with exactly what we're talking about, Miles and I on Moosebeard and Whitley Booth, we used to work at the Rooster's Rest, and we get a lot of people who are coming in to use the mechanics of the food. They'd buy their food, it would help them earn money, etc. It's a mechanic in the game that they knew about. So we get a lot of grinders who'd show up. A lot of them were in a rush. They just wanted to get their food, go out and do their whatever, make their money. But we saw the opportunity to have 30 seconds of somebody's time and to give them a good, fun, memorable experience, right? To turn something that somebody would. I actually remember we brought it up a few times about people who they did processing RP. It wasn't really RP. It was just you were just processing the person for their order.
Yeah.
What is your order, sir? Here's your charge. Here's your food. But whereas we would go, okay, like what, sell them their food, then they'd come on over to the kitchen. We'd be in the kitchen. We'd be like, how spicy do you like your ramen? Do you want any milk, cream, sugar, lactantia, his mother's milk? And what do you want in your tea?
Sprinkle of love.
Yeah.
That was my one.
We'd ask if they have dietary concerns, things like that. Like we would, take that extra little second to kind of give them a fun little role play session that they could interact with somebody who isn't just their grind boys, right? Which I think, for those of you out there who are on NoPixel and are trying to elevate your role play to a level where maybe you don't have prio, maybe you want to get there, you want to get to that point eventually. I can speak for myself on this, but when Uber Haxor Nova, bless his soul, helped Miles and I achieve prio, he requested some clips from us. He said, send me some clips, I'm gonna submit them, we'll see if we can't get you guys some prio. And one of the clips that I sent, and I kind of gave it a little bit of a description too, was to show that both of us were taking the time to turn a situation that wasn't typically role played very heavily into something that can be very, very fun.
Yep.
Did you guys approach Uber, or was it the other way around?
I think I actually reached out to him.
I love that.
I
Yeah,
said,
you
hey
did.
man, like we've threatened to blow you up on the Littlemans so many times now. How about come on. You wanna,
How about that bomb's real
cheeky,
next time,
but still
huh?
asking, yeah.
How about that bomb's real next time? We've been because there was a bit where we would just jump in his trunk and I would use the Go XLR sweat thing. I think it's the like that beep.
Yeah.
And I would just repeat it to make like a bomb sound effect. It wasn't a bomb. It was just the sweat filter. Repeat. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
You know,
One of the 6 dead.
if you
cell
say you
phones.
have a bomb with enough passion, people are gonna believe you got a
Mhm.
bomb. All they're gonna role play it out, and it happened a lot. I would say the best one was always
Still
the Polito
happens.
heist, when we were inside Barry's car with Perkins inside for 45 minutes.
This is Barry Brittle, also played by
Barry,
Uber.
yeah, and Perkins by Penguin. And they were at Dean's World, and they saw us at Dean's World, and we jumped inside the trunk when they weren't looking as they ordered Burger Shot. Then I remember seeing the sequence events after it because he put it on a video. They like watched a musician. They drove from Dean's World around the entire freeways. They
This
went
is-
up to Polito.
And you guys were in the trunk the whole time for this, right?
We were in the trunk the whole time,
This is the
45
first
minutes
time. This is
straight.
the first time I ever saw the Littlemans, the long trunk ride.
So we did 2 actually in the space of a week. It was 45 minutes with Barry with the bomb, and then we jumped in Forces for 70 minutes, and then we jumped in
Remember
Tessa's.
that.
We jumped in Tessa's for 10 minutes, and she threw us out near the Mandem block, if you remember that. But
Wait,
it was
get in
Barry's.
the parking garage when we were in Forces?
Yeah, yes, we
Okay.
jumped out of Forces into Tessa's.
This is a good photo.
Yeah,
Sure you still
that was
have
the
that
first.
somewhere.
Yeah, I have it. It's in the MDW report. It's
Yeah.
the Littlemans in the corner of MLPD parking lot. So we go all the way to Polito, and Troms and I, we haven't said a thing to each other for 45 minutes straight.
Right.
We made a few, whispering sounds and a few thumps. Like I think they know that there's people in the trunk, but they don't know
yeah.
it's us in the trunk.
Well, we made it obvious because every time they would hit a bump, we'd go,
Ooh, ow, ooh.
Yeah, you guys. That's one thing that really impresses me about both of you. But Miles, you constantly are finding ways to like enhance roleplay in really subtle ways. I think it's so sick. Like even even on Stubble, whenever there's a serious situation, Connor Stubble, your cop character, if it's serious, like the like tone of your voice changes, and it's almost like I'm actually standing in a crime scene and I'm about to get fucking shot. And you're like, "What are you doing, you idiot? Get on the ground!" And it's like, oh, fuck,
Yeah, I
okay,
do that a
I'm
lot.
on the ground.
In shootouts, I just there's like a switch, and it's almost like the PUBG background of just thousands and thousands of hours of crazy, heart wrenching, adrenaline pumping shootouts of like any mistake goes wrong, all your progress is gone, and it's the same in GTA. If you only have one life in a situation in NoPixel, and if you fuck that up, you're done. And at the end of the day, with role playing. Okay, I say we only have one life. In that situation, there is only one life
Yeah.
for most people if they don't come back, which they probably shouldn't.
Skip.
So you have to treat it like if you're going down, you're dying, right? Because you're role playing that a bullet could kill you. So double with like the tactician background and like the way the character is built with like the Jason Statham Call of Duty aspect to it. It's like I have an opportunity as Stubble to make situations like shootouts or when there's hostages, lives are on the line, to make it feel real. And that's something I really want to do because not a lot of people will take that opportunity. A lot, it's sometimes 78, so I'm getting shot at, help. It takes you out of it. And I always want to just take people into it, put them in the scene.
I think you
And
did a
that's
really good
something
job.
that like Stubble gets to do. It's something I realized in the DOC when there was a riot, and I got into my like SWAT riot gear, and I remember this riot. I don't know what happened, but there was 5 of us at the front gates, and we're all in our SWAT riot gear. And the PD arrive, and I give them the debrief on the radio, and it was like 5 of us of the DOC slow walking through the airlock as the PD arrived, and it was like the PD saw us as the SWAT unit, like because of the way I was
Yeah.
running it. It made it feel like, they're coming into something that is insane. And once I realized that happened, it was kind of like, okay, this is what I always want to do. I want to get into PD. I want to, like, get an L1, put people in the zone, get into the shootouts, be on the ground. I think there's a clip from when Buddha played as cop. James, whatever. He has, it's the same name as some famous basketball player. Not American. I don't know.
Some random basketball player.
It was. I don't know.
He's not all that popular.
You know that popular. I'm pretty sure it's the #1 player.
Yeah, it's
My mind's going
a
blank.
big deal.
Anyway, it was a BBMC shootout, and he's running around, and I'm just like, "Cadet, get your head down, get some hard cover." And he's just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die!" Like he's just shitting bricks.
So
And
LeBron,
it was
LeBron
like-
James is his cop.
LeBron James, that's what it was.
LeBron
yeah.
James.
So
Never heard
You
of
know,
him.
like whenever I see cadets in these shootouts doing the most dumb shit, like I always go into this like militant sergeant like trying to get this guy to get his head down and stay alive, like your traditional Call of Duty campaign and the AI guy telling you to stay alive. I always just get into that mode. It's so fun.
It's good, yeah. Was there anything that inspired the way that you played Stubble? Like when you were making Stubble in your head, did
Jason
you have
Statham.
Jason
Jason
Statham.
Statham. I was like, I wanted to make Jason Statham because I happened on Whitley. Radios were acquirable on civs, and we're at Roosters, and we were all just messing around on the radio, pretending like we were like spies, doing our voices. But I was like, Whitley doesn't have a spy voice. He's he's a pirate. So I was like, what if I just did like a super English Jason Statham kind of voice? And that was when Stubble's voice was born. Was on Whitley in the
Oh,
Roosters
okay.
Rest. And then the next day I made Stubble and I applied him for DOC.
I think I
was
must
like,
have met
it's
him
so
that
much fun.
day.
That's so
You showed
good.
up at the PD booth when
Yep.
Hydra and I, we both used to work for PD as PD lot assistants, not even as or lot attendants, not even PD tow before it was changed to PD tow. And this guy shows up and he's bald,
Bald as fuck.
beautiful. He's
No, he was. Stubble's original face was ugly. It was bad. Like it has changed a lot.
It was a little different, wasn't it? Now that I remember.
It was long, really long nose.
Oh,
It's
I actually think I
me, Connor
remember this.
Stubble.
I think we called you like a scarecrow or something when we first.
I called
saw
you a melon or something. I
Yeah,
called you like
that's
a watermelon.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, who the fuck is this melon in this booth? Huh? What are you, a pirate? I remember saying that. I remember saying, "What are you, a pirate?"
Yep. Yeah, I remember. So, it might not be known for everybody listening or watching, however you are in taking the podcast, but we are all cops, including 52 Chains, who is a newly hired cadet.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
we're all
pretend
cops on
cops in a
NoPixel.
video game. I got angry tweets today. Okay.
Oh yeah, we should make sure to mention that we are all fake police officers role playing on a roleplay server. Just put that out there, okay? So we all have gone through a lot as cops, and Miles, your character still continues to inspire me. In fact, there was a situation yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was yesterday. I was up in Air One for the first time in forever. I was co-pilot, and I was giving communications from the camera. And there was a moment where this guy is 37 Alpha, for those of you who don't know, is an armored vehicle drug call out of character. It's meth stuff, I believe. I don't exactly know. This guy pulls over on the side of the road. We've been chasing him for like 30 minutes. He pulls over and he's ready to blast. Like his boys have already blasted. He's ready to blast. He's probably getting low on gas, etc. Gets out of his car, starts shooting. Immediately, Connor Stubble enters my mind. And I'm up there in the air and I go, vehicle's pulling over to the side of the road. He's getting out. He's getting out. Gun in hand. He's shooting.
Yes.
He's shooting now. He is down. And then I'm like, hold fire. And then he gets back up. And I was like, he is back up. He was just slumped. He's back up. Gun back in hand. Put him down.
I've had that happen in a shootout.
We've heard. I think he did that because Miles. We've heard like a dozen different people at PD recount your incredible communication skills.
It's like being there. It's literally like when you give comms, it's like being there.
Well, it's the whole point of the comms, right? Is you are painting a picture for the people that aren't there to understand what's happening there. So when they get there, they know what happened prior to them arriving. Yep. Because if you just have, I mean, you could just give the normal comms. The guy's getting out of the car. He's got a gun. He's shooting at this person, or you can just not say anything and let the people on the ground comment. But it's like that's the whole point of L1 is you're the guy in the sky. They can focus on shooting, and you can just narrate it for everybody else coming. It's gonna be annoying for the people shooting that they have this constant chatter over them as they're trying to shoot. But it also gets rid of that feeling like they have to communicate what's happening while they shoot.
They can just focus on doing what they're gonna do, shooting back, defending themselves, staying safe, etc. Whereas you can give that. I mean, that's really all you can do from up there is just give that.
All I could do. Right? All I could do is give that communication. So I just try and make sure it's like a painting. I'm trying to find a photo of old Stubble, by the way. I can't find one.
that's one way that I really feel like you've elevated things. I always feel like, especially in 3.0 with the police is it's ever changing. It is constantly churning the way that we do things and how well things are done and how we can improve. And I know, you know, some viewers it might not seem that way, but we are getting better literally all the time. And I think it's this combined inspiration from each other. It's watching people do things really, really well and then trying to emulate that yourself. At least that's how it's always been for me. Right? Watching somebody like Vale just confidently lead a scene, or Claire just absolutely dominate a pursuit, right? Like it's that kind of stuff that really, really inspires me to get better and to, you know, elevate my character and try to you know, try to create something that I have never done before, or try to do better than I did last time, right? So very, very cool.
Yeah, 3.0 I think the cops are in the best position they've ever been in, especially with the different departments. I think that lends to so much internal and external role play. People have their favorite departments, they have people they want to deal with, they don't want to deal with. You have the same like hierarchical system, so there's no like, oh, I outrank you in this, so blah blah blah. So there's no like trauma there. There's no issues, but then you get this incredible environment for role playing with all these different cops. I wanted to be a cop since 2.0, and I was trying to make John Hydra a cop back when Bundy, played by Occam's Saber, was still a dispatch. And watching, I've literally been on the sidelines watching the PD change and grow, and I don't think they've ever been in a better place than they are right now. I mean,
yeah.
we'll have some days where we have like I think we had like 67 cops on duty at one point a few days ago.
Yeah, it was 65,
and still nobody responded to 77s.
because everybody just, that's like meeting time, you know. Like everybody just wants to sit around and talk to each other and role play with each other. And I mean, I still think that one of the best parts of cop role play is the office role play, because there's no other environment in the server where you have office role play like being a police officer, because you have like the business offices, but that's very, you know, with business people meetings, and then you have burger shop, and that's like crazy. Rooster's Rest, I feel like from when we were there, didn't really have that like office dynamic. It was get in there, work, you know, deal with the customers, and then sometimes hang out like off the shift. But with PD office roleplay, it's like it feels like you're in the office, just getting into the building, just talking to people, getting into random situations in the building, and it feels like a sitcom a lot of the time. And that's why people stack, because I feel like the roleplay as a cop, nothing matches that.
Yeah,
there's a certain bond that comes with role playing a cop, because you are required to protect the other people around you, but in that requirement, attachment grows. So as you end up responding to more and more calls, you start learning people's names, you start learning people's habits and manners, you start knowing who's leading a scene without even being able to, you just can hear it, you can tell. There's so much internal growth that happens from being in PD. I think it's an incredible experience. I think if anybody's in NoPixel and wants to be a cop, you should, if you can, go to public and try to make a cop over there, because it's way easier just to experience it, because it's fucking awesome.
It's just a different beast over there.
People keep asking
Public's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I want to. People keep asking me on John Hydra in character. They go, oh, how you handling solo? I know it's like lonely and depressing. I'm like, what are you talking about? This shit's awesome. I love it. It's fun. It's exciting. You're never really alone. You're only ever alone for maybe 15 minutes at a time while you're looking for the next scumbag to pull over, right? And then
that was my biggest advice, is for solo cadets to feel lonely. I would always say just go to 77s. Someone's asking for backup. You can be that backup. You can just, you know, you're alone, be with someone who doesn't want to be alone. It's that easy.
If I ever see a cop in a traffic stop, I'll pull up right behind him, and I'll call it in that I'm 23 to the traffic stop. 23 being arrived on scene. Yeah, it's really awesome. I think it's very cool. And if anybody has an issue with like the solitude of role playing a cop, I think I don't want to like critique the person, but you're probably doing it wrong, right?
Yeah, just put yourself out there. While we're on the topic of the police, and this is something that I think would be really good to talk about, since we have Miles here. I think we should speak on reading the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is something this is like, falls into like rolling with punches, etc. This is something that, every role player should have an idea of how to do. But I feel like as a police officer, as a cop on No Pixel, you have a much bigger responsibility for reading the room. And Miles, actually, I think you are one of the best when it comes to reading the room. Because of the way that you bounce between being serious and being less than serious, I think you're really, really good at knowing when to take a situation very seriously or to SBS because it's a burn character or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on reading the room, and how do you go about gauging a situation?
Honestly, for reading the room, it's kind of like let's say you have a scene, a situation. A lot of the time you will have a director of that situation. Uh so maybe it's from the criminal side and they're the one who started this whole thing, or maybe it's from the cop side and they're the one who started this whole thing. A lot of the time, these situations they stay on one side. It's a criminal situation, it's a cop situation, but then you have situations where they clash together, and if someone doesn't read the room from one side to the other side, then it all gets bad because there is a just like there's a lead on the cop side, there's a lead on the criminal side. So if the lead on the criminal side doesn't read it the same, then everything falls apart. So I always feel like it's my responsibility when I'm in a situation, especially if I'm leading a situation, is to understand what the person leading on the other side is going for in this situation.
Yeah.
So let's say it's someone that, they're robbing burger shop, but they only have melee weapons and they are giving us plenty of opportunity. They don't have masks on. They're saying self-incriminating things. They are giving out things that are L's, right? They are exposing their own weaknesses. I go there and I see that situation and I think, do I need to go in here and use every single thing in my power to arrest them? Or are they giving us wiggle room where we can give that wiggle room back? And it's the exact same when you're on the criminal, it's the same way, right? It's like
Yeah.
how you commit the crimes will warrant the police response, hopefully, if they read the room. Like sometimes, we'll be in the little ones doing the most SPS stuff, and then we just get pounded on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let's just go on to the next one. If things don't get read, that's always my mindset too, is like, is what it is. The repercussions of a lot of things in NoPixel are very short, and we can just get on to the next situation. It's not too big of a deal.
Yeah.
We get absolutely fucked. We're in prison for 20, 30 months. It's whatever.
Right.
It's we can get out and we can role play in prison. I think there's been multiple situations where we've been thrown to prison for a very short amount of times, but because of the role play that's in there and we have that investment through our experience in the Littlemans, we'll stay in there for like quadruple the time. So I think when it comes to loop it back to reading the room, it's all about just understanding the intent of the other person. I'm a cop and I respond to a crime and they are bringing everything they can. They are trying to get away. That is the intent from the criminal. Then I, as the cop, need to bring everything I can to give them that tension that they need. It's an S plus boost. They're bringing in their 5 S plus interference vehicles. We as the cops have the responsibility, because they're investing hundreds of thousands into it, to bring our 5 interceptors, our L1, we gotta.
Yeah, you don't.
If the stakes are that high, we make it that high. But if the stakes aren't that high, then you gotta read it and you bring it back. We had a stolen B-class Cognoscetti today from a lone criminal by himself, and I was like, I just want me, and I was riding with Luca in the Explorer, and just give me 2 cadets in the CVPR. That's all I needed for the chase. Give us a channel, and I just put the cadets in primary. I didn't care if they got away. I was using that as a situation to give the cadets practice, because it's a situation where nothing's on the line, nothing's super intense. Nobody's gonna get emotional if it goes either way. And I think that's something you gotta look at for each situation. It's a problem that happens a lot, is people will get they go to one boost, they get shot when they arrive, and then every other boost they're like, fuck this person, fuck all the criminals. We're arresting them on scene. We're not letting them get in the car. We're gonna baton and pull them out. They're going to jail straight away. And it's like, if you have that mindset to treat every single person the same, then we just get this blanket cop response to everything where it's just like, well, there's no give and take.
Yeah. That's a great thing I had written down was about compartmentalization. When you're role playing either as a criminal or as a cop, it's important, especially as a cop, because you have a lot of authority and power in the server, to compartmentalize. And what I mean by that is exactly what you said. If you go to a B class boost and you get gunned down by 4 dudes with AKs as the second you arrive, what are your techniques for not taking that rage out on the next B class boost, or any other examples? Do you have any like stories or anecdotes or thoughts on that?
I think if a situation happens and you could tie it to that situational call, avoiding those calls for the time being, you see a lot of the time people will avoid bank robberies and stuff because they have rough experiences. And I think it's because that is the best way to avoid, like, future pain. I mean, look at like SWAT. So many people just avoid every SWAT call because they have bad experiences with SWAT. And I think it's important
what does a SWAT call look like?
A SWAT call is going to be a shootout from the get-go, normally, because SWAT is active gunfire, active gunman. We're just going in and we're cleaning up. So SWAT a lot of the time, and sometimes it's like it is designed to fail. So like you have the casino heist, the chances that SWAT prevail in that is like 1 out of 5. So if you go into every casino thinking, oh, I'm going to die straight away, and this is just going to be me on the ground, and there's, no chance that, we have a PD successfully got the bad guys, then a lot of people are going to go into that with a mindset of, fuck this. There's other reasons it's bad. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of waiting around, a lot of just clearing random stuff. So there's a lot of negatives. So people will take those negatives from the last call and just apply it to the next. When, if we use the casino from the last example, there was a situation where the HOA robbed the casino. I wasn't there for it. I think it was before I was a cop. Was it? I can't remember. But there was a bomb, and they had a hostage tied to the bomb, and they had the cops with the hostage with the bomb call the robbers down below, and it was this amazing role play, this back and forth between the bombers and the cops with the bomb, and it was very unique, and that was SWAT. And if everybody just said, oh, casino is just dog shit, I'm going to die every time, I'm not going to the next one, then that situation would have never happened. I mean, it's the same with the way we try and make things different with like bank robberies and the Littlemans. If everybody treated the vault for when we get ambushed pretty quickly the same, then so many amazing bank robberies where we rob the place with a goddamn garbage truck would never have happened.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really important for everybody just to take each situation as a closed thing. I understand if you're doing it with the same people, you've had problems with the same people in the past, to kind of just be like, oh, here we go again. But I don't know. I think it's important to just, remember people for their characters and like react to it appropriately when it comes to stuff like that.
Miles, boy, oh boy, have
What?
we had some times together. Oh my goodness. I think there are people out there, and I'm not tooting our horn or tooting our own horn or anything like that, but I do think there are people out there who genuinely look at characters like ours and draw inspiration from that. One Small Bumble, for instance, she made a tweet recently saying that, or showing that she had robbed a bank or a store or something like that, but she did it.
Factory.
She did it in role play. She didn't have the stuff needed. She didn't, she didn't get in. She didn't get anything from it. She robbed it because she could.
That's awesome.
Because why not? Why not role play that you
can slash
right?
me anything in this game.
That's exactly it. And so
Slash me Rob's bank.
That's what Miles and I have been doing.
Slash me only heist. Slash me has guns. Slash me has hostage. Slash me takes money.
I was actually thinking about that in the shower today. I was thinking about making doing something where you only slash me jumps on motorcycle. Slash me drives away quickly on motorcycle. And you're just running.
You could do like E push. Like E push. Slash me is using steering wheel. And you could be escorting me in E chair. So we're like in the car.
Oh, you just know somebody's gonna walk up and be like, slash me tases you 6 times.
Slash me
puts you in
unbreakable
cuffs.
Slash me breaks cuffs.
Yeah. I'll have
breaks unbreakable cuffs. Are you surprised? Question mark.
Slash Me uses latent superhuman strength to break cuffs.
We
Yeah, I
have
see that
done
happening.
we have done some amazing things just in role play. As you guys probably know, we are the clothing store bandits. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
That's
You
us.
sons
It's
of
coming out
bitches.
today. The Littlemans
Hot
are the
Amen.
ones who've been doing that. We robbed the clothing store. I think we were the first in the city to to pull off the clothing store heist. Real big
Clothing
stuff.
store heist with
high
the
pure
3
crime.
vehicle swap. Yep, we did that.
That's right. With the
A
Was
boat.
any-
boat
was
in
anyone
the
actually
lake
chasing you
at
guys?
the-
Yes, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 cops. Tinker was there.
Was this from a register at a clothing store?
Yes, which we can't do anymore. The clothing store bandits are gone. The clothing stores have all been remodeled and the registers are gone or something.
Has to
So
be
we,
gas station bandits.
So-
we still robbed them.
yeah, we robbed one a week ago, and what I did was I just went inside and I just put on a different scarf. I was
Yeah, he's
like,
like,
I robbed this.
This is mine now.
I rolled the
Yeah.
scarf, taking it back.
Dude, I think the Littlemans provide they're like a pressure release valve for the server sometimes. Whether it's criminals or cops, the Littlemans, people go into those situations actively and willingly because they know I am going to laugh. I am going to have fun. And so playing a character like that is so beneficial for the server as a whole. It doesn't surprise me at all that you guys got prio pretty much from those characters. I mean, from all of your role plays, very good. But I think everybody is in agreement that it was the Littlemans that got you there, right?
It was what garnered us the most attention because
100%.
we were just doing the most obscene things, right?
What is have you ever done any this is actually going to be a sensitive subject. Okay. Recently, both of you guys were penalized for some stuff that happened in game. We talked about it a little bit on last week. Now, Miles, you were gone for like 3 days for something, right? Were you just on vacation or did you actually get?
No, I was banned. I tweeted about it. It was the same thing.
It was for
on
the Littleman cone situation, right?
Yeah, on the Littlemans, I placed a cone on
You son
Jim.
of a
I put a
bitch.
cone down on the power street jump. I put one to the side, and there was a blanket response to cones. If like anybody was fucking around with it, obviously there was the blow off situation, which was Troms and Cassidy. That was like what brought it all to light. And then I was reached out to and asked, and I was like, yeah, this is what happened. This is when I did it. This is what I did. And then they were like, well, you get him banned. 3-day ban, and then 14-day suspension from PD whitelist after. And that suspension came on Stubble because of the actions I did on Jim abusing the whitelist. A lot of people are confused by that. They're like, why is Stubble, suspended? He didn't do anything. But it's an out of character suspension because it was a abuse of the whitelist on an out of character level. It wasn't an in character thing.
Yeah.
So even though Jim did it, it was still me that abused the whitelist that Jim had, that Stubble also had. So there was a reason it was taken away. And I don't know, a lot of people just couldn't understand that it was just suspended on it from everything.
Yeah, I think people get very passionate and also don't have all of the information and sometimes can kind of freak out. So this is the time you've gotten banned. Have you ever been banned before this?
Never had a single hiccup before this. I've been trying to make out. Listen, Troms, he dances the line. I hold him back. I was doing a good job. I was doing really good.
So
Where were you, man? Where were you?
It was me. I was the problem.
So before now, go ahead.
I was gonna say in character, Tim Littleman, my character, is the older brother. He's supposed to be the more responsible, the brains, but as it turns out, the true brains, the true responsible one is Miles' character
muscle.
Jim, and the muscle Jim.
He's got the street smarts.
I have made a couple small mistakes. Never caught any infractions or anything for it, but boy, oh boy, am I lucky to have Miles right there next to me who slaps me across the face and says, "You are so stupid. You are the dumbest."
I'm like, man. I'm pretty sure our first time back on the Littlemans after the suspension, he did something. I was like, I don't want to go on another business trip. Like, we just got back. This guy's already trying to do wild shit.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Um, it's, it's so good to have you there, though. I gotta admit, you've saved me more times than I can count. You know, I wouldn't even say maybe necessarily save me, but you're kind of that voice of reason that I think sometimes I need, right? I think
Yeah.
we balance each other very, very well. I think I've you know what also surprised me, and I noticed this with you as well, Hydra, when we interact with each other. There are certain people that you role play with who it's like you just are connected in some way. Like you have
Yeah,
a
you're just a
tie.
similar wavelength, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because there have been many times where I'm role playing with Miles. I don't have a brother. I have a sister, and I have honestly I've never felt like that kind of wavelength with any sibling, right? But with Miles, it's like we're always on the same page.
There's been
We
so many times we've said the exact same thing to the most like random questions. We just
we'll get asked
straight
something
away.
and we'll both just answer and it'll be at the same time, the exact same
Yeah.
words. Like
Yep.
it's and it doesn't even come as a shock either. It just I just laugh and I'm like, yep, that is typical
That's my
of
boy.
us. Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, when the three of
Yep.
us, so recently I was trying to get John Hydra, my cop character, to ride along with Moosebeard, and I was like, hey, like in characters, like I want you to like really critique me because I want to make sure that I'm actually learning, right? I know we have fun and I goof around and I'm probably one of the more animated cadets, right? Because I feel like I can read the room and I can walk the line and I do have like the time to kind of be able to go further than some of the cadets do. But I want to make sure that I'm not also not becoming a good RP cop, right? So like 3 times in a row I've tried to ride with Moosebeard to like have him like critique me, and every time people just see us together and go, oh, this is going to be fun. And so we run into like the most even we'll go to like bank robberies and it turns into like I'm almost passing out from laughing situation. And so we agreed, we're like, all right, we're just not going to do this anymore because it's not working. we'll wait till I'm like full officer to ride together because this is just not going to fly. And the same thing happens even with Stubble. When I ride with Stubble, I can hear you getting annoyed that I'm making you laugh because you're trying to be serious. And it's just like we have this like like you said, we're on the same wavelength of where we're trying to have fun and be entertaining for our chat and also make sure the people around us are actively participating and having a good time. It's very fun. But it can also be a problem sometimes. Do you ever wish that you could kind of do like an RP reset and be like, okay, all right, we're done laughing, everybody, we're super serious now, go. That's something sometimes I wish I could do that.
I don't know. I don't know because it would feel so natural.
Yeah.
You know, it's like humor is a very real thing in real life, and that's why it's so present in roleplay, right?
Mhm.
Like when you're hanging out with your friends, jokes happen all the time, even in serious situations, and it's the same thing. I mean, it's the whole point is for roleplay to, you know, be not real life, but you know, you're trying to replicate it with your characters. So trying to ground it in reality with those humorous moments, I think, is really important.
I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
So if a situation did ever need to get serious, Corner Stubble's gonna be the first person to get serious.
I think I've
Crack
actually
down, boys.
All right, listen up, shut up, and
Pull your
listen. We
pants
got
up.
mission.
Yeah.
It's time to go. Get
Pants up, t-shirt down.
Just so you guys know, I'm just now ordering a Scarlett 2i2 preamp, which should allow me on my dual PC setup because I have a Yamaha mixer, and it doesn't allow my voice changers to work for whatever reason. So because I'm getting the
Wait.
Scarlett 2i2,
The return
I
of
might
Krim
be able
Littleman?
to bring back
Hyena
Krim
Littleman?
Littleman, yeah, and not just be
Krim Littleman.
Hyena
The real
Littleman.
Krim Littleman.
Yeah.
You know, I have a Krim. I have 2 Krims on my phone. One is Krim, and one is Neil O'Brien, an SDSO cop that I haven't seen in 2 or 3 months. Called me
right.
on the while we're on the Littlemans with a Littleman voice changer on, and said it was Krim, and told us to meet up. I knew it wasn't Krim. I know Krim. You know, he has a hyena laugh, and I was like, Krim, you're back. Where are you? And then we met up with him, and it was a cop. What a surprise!
Whoa.
And then I think he arrested us. I love when people do like you know, traps, and like we will always play into them.
100%.
Like,
We'll fall
what-
for anything.
I think I think you had been arrested for something, and I had a stolen CVPI. Oh, it was when we stole a CVPI, and I stayed in the back of the car. It was four other people, all ran on foot. I just stayed in the back. All the cops followed. So when all the cops left, I just got in the car and drove away. And I ended up selling the CVPI to a cop. I can't remember who the cop was, but they
good.
off the water.
they called me from an unknown number. They were doing like a fake voice. I knew it was them, but I still like called for them. And they were in an interceptor. I was in a beaten up CVPI. I tried to drive. I tried, and then they hit me at like 130 on the freeway, and I flew out. And I just can I just say that was the funniest thing. The last time we were in the Littlemans, we got given this like S plus really insane vehicle that we just clown around in for like 6 hours straight. No one could catch us because the vehicle was too good. And in the end, I had to call Bison, who was leading the pursuit, and I was like, pits at 150 miles per hour and over are authorized. And then I just hung up, and he was just like, "Say less."
Stubble? Oh, it's so good.
No. I
okay,
called
okay.
him Jim.
This is on the Littlemans.
Yeah, it's on
I
the
thought
Littlemans.
you called him as your other character to imply like that Stubble was RP.
No.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever make
We've done that a few times.
How do you feel? Do you feel like that's a gray area? Do you feel like that's
I think it's a funny bit. I don't think it's something to do seriously.
Yeah,
But it's a funny bit. If there's no like
I
weight.
agree
to it.
100%. I do it as a joke often, but I would never do it if something were impactful. Like, oh, we can only move forward if Stanky Leg calls us right now and admits to doing it. I would never then go get on the phone and go, I admit it. You got me, you fools. Like that's cringe.
All right, gentlemen, gonna direct your attention to the Discordian,
Oh yeah, give me one second.
where you will find a clip of what Miles was just talking about. For those of you at home, check the links. We'll have this link available for you
So
somewhere.
this should be in the
or,
studio section, right?
the fabulous Hydra, please, will possibly put it up on screen for
Can
you. I don't
you-
know how this works. Okay, I'm just a host.
Can you make it
But this
hype?
is a scene that we had recently, the one Miles was speaking about, where we had an S plus vehicle. We had no intentions of getting away. As always, we had planned to be caught. There goes his camera. It died.
62%. 62%. I was
62.
checking.
Okay.
We had no intention of getting away. Miles, the genius that he is, the absolute an amazing role player, calls up Bison and says, "You can pit at 150 because we're highway blasting you." So we get up past Polito, and this is Boba Bison, Lieutenant Corporal,
Captain
Bison.
Captain.
Captain Bison. This is Captain Bison's point of view of
Maybe lieutenant at the time.
him successfully getting a pit on the Littlemans.
All right, we'll set it to 0 and we'll go 3, 2, 1, play. Okay.
All right, I'm ready when you boys are.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Passing
I
Plato
had the link
Marketplace.
open.
I love that
Alright.
he's got a win-loss ratio. If you listen carefully, you can hear us pleading for our lives at this point, realizing the funny part was that thing's got a harness in it, so we impacted the
We
tree.
all survived.
They're off the bridge here
Survive.
right now. That's
We're,
that explorer
we're
right
in the
here.
wind, boys.
Bison laughing.
Passing Plato Marketplace.
Oh, his laugh is infectious.
It's so
It's really
they're,
great.
they're off the
So
bridge
good.
here.
that's
this-
so
this-
good.
For me is the ideal situation where, we're giving somebody else a good, fun something, right? No, they're not taking it overly serious. They're taking it serious enough because it's their job, but and we're just having a good time. I
100%.
believe that at the heart of what we do on No Pixel, the absolute boil it down to its simplest elements,
The dating scene.
having fun
Oh.
is the biggest part, right? And as long as everybody's having fun, I think the role play will come. The role play will be good.
I have fun when I win.
Oh, you okay? We're gonna have to put you in the W streamer group.
I actually
Maybe
think
get-
I know you're
Whoa.
I know you're joking, maybe, but I think taking L's. We've talked about this before on the podcast, so I don't want to like rehash it too much. But taking L's creates the most content. It's the most fun, unless you interact somebody who only takes W's. It's like rock paper scissors. L chasers only lose to W chasers because typically L chasers attract goofballs, right? If you are obviously chasing an L, you attract goofballs. But if you attract a W chaser, it's like, oh man, like this could have been really funny, and instead I'm going to jail for 600 months.
I'll never forget the first ever time Stubble met James Randall. It was when, for some reason, Spaceboy did a Shift 1 stream. And he was just walking around at James Randall, and I think he got inside someone's tow truck. And then they were grinding, and they were like, this guy's just in a car. So then they escorted him. Well, one had a knife, then escorted him, Boss escorted him, got in the trunk of the car so that James, who also had a knife, wouldn't stab them. They were just like, we got to grind, but then this guy's trying to stab us and get in our situation because it's James Randall. So they just escorted him to stop him, and then they were just, he was 911ing from the trunk, so I was like, where are you, James? And I went on this massive chase across the city, and they went to the airport, where I think they were going to put him in a plane and then kill him while escorting him. And I came there, and then I put my gun against the guy who was escorting James, and I made him put James down. And then Spaceboy, as soon as he was getting unescorted, just stabbed the guy. And like me and Stubble, I was just like from what I had seen, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I was just like, Mr. Randall, put the knife down. And he surrendered. And then these guys, they got stabbed by him. They were so confused. I arrested them. I didn't arrest Spaceboy. Like Spaceboy, he understands the game of give and take so well. And James, in this situation, he was the victim. He was kidnapped, and he was a frail old man who was afraid for his life, as they were going to kill him. And he just defended himself. So then Stubble just let him go. I was just like, good to go. I think it was the first ever situation that I was primary and I ran off as a full deputy. It was my second day as a full deputy. I remember getting on duty and this happening, and I was just like, this was just so fun to lead and be able to pull the strings where I wanted to and let the situation go. Because James was the leader from the other side, the criminal side. He was the director from earlier that I was talking about.
Right.
And this was the first time in the director seat on the cop side, and I was able to say, let him go. We're arresting these guys. He was the one who was trying to get a loss here. He's playing a vulnerable old man that was just in a tow truck. They were trying to get this W. This is where the roleplay should go. And it was great. And it was the first time they'd ever been arrested. And I brought them. I put them through the books.
I love when
I
grinders
love
get their first arrest.
I love arresting people and making it an experience.
Right.
Because it's like processing should be something that isn't just like, I'm
your
going to
charges.
prison again.
I
Yeah.
have a strategy for arresting either new people or people that I think will really enjoy the experience. I take them to Davis because
I love Davis
we have a
PD.
lot
I
more
use it all the
freedom
time.
I let them have an experience that isn't bogged down by the presence of others, right?
Yeah.
In reality, on NoPixel, we're almost everybody's streaming, so nobody's ever not watching, right? But there comes this sort of role play experience wherein you are the only two visible people in the room, that then you can really get somebody to come out of their shell and show their true colors without getting embarrassed. And if you're playing somebody silly like John Hydra or Moosebeard, or somebody who role plays really well like Stubble, who's a really serious cop, you can really draw these characters out and have a really incredible experience. I think Davis is a great roleplay tool.
I think I agree with that. I think it's easier in the less crowded environment. MRPD can get a little, especially when there's so many cells, and then somebody who's more boisterous or louder will come in and kind of they don't even mean to, because they're still just continuing whatever situation they're on. But
God forbid Stanky gets arrested while their fucking cells are full.
Yeah, they'll someone like that will kind of dominate. I will admit I've been guilty of it before, about going to prison and just being loud immediately, and someone else is already there. They've been doing their scene and whatnot, but then we come in and we're just a little loud and kind of interrupting their scene. So I could definitely see or see why bringing somebody to Davis would change the scenario, right?
And for those that don't know, Davis is just another jail cell that you can arrest people from in the NoPixel server. Miles,
Yeah.
at what point when you were role playing on NoPixel did NoPixel begin to feel like a potential career move?
The first day, I had already decided NoPixel was a career move before I had done it because so I started streaming in December of 2017. The first ever streamed. I had a VR headset. It was an Oculus Rift, and I was showing my friends that I've been playing PUBG for the last 7 months, Minecraft in VR. I was like, I didn't want to. I couldn't find a way to stream it over Discord, so I was like, well, Twitch is a thing. I've been watching Shroud the last 2 or 3 months, so why don't I just stream it on Twitch to them? Because I have it. I have an account. So I streamed it to them, and then everybody liked it, and then I was like, why don't I just do this? And because it's so much better like at the time, we would always play PUBG every day, and we not all the people could fit in the squad because we had like a good group of people playing it. So I was like, why don't I just stream on Twitch to them while we all hang out and vibe? And then eventually I started getting viewers, and I don't need to go through my entire PUBG career because it's 4 years, but roller coaster. But TLDR is in the end, after 7,000 something hours, become a PUBG partner, going through the leaderboards, getting number 2 in Europe.
Nice.
I became extremely burnt out. I was done. I had done everything I could. It got to a point where I was streaming, instead of the 8 hours on my schedule every day, I was streaming like 2, 3, maybe 4, ending the stream, and just watching other people's streams that I was enjoying on non-PUBG, watching TV. I had no purpose. And I was full-time streaming because this was the pandemic, and it was just coming after my big blow-up of PUBG, Twitch partner, my all-time peaks. I was somewhere between 100, 150 to sometimes 300 viewers. And that was all, the dust was settling, but I was burnt out. I wasn't enjoying it anymore.
So you were able to
And
transition.
that was the end of 2020. And 2021, January, I barely streamed PUBG. And then February happened. The 3rd of February, 4th of February, NoPixel 3.0 trailer. And I was like, this is amazing. This is so cool. I love GTA. I've never roleplayed before. I've seen the GTA blew up in 2018 because I was very avid on Twitch, but I didn't really watch a lot. I just knew of it. I always knew that it was there. I just never really touched it. I knew of people like Eugene and Vader, and I knew of Space Boy. And then it was the first day of 3.0, and I was watching Soda Pop and Burger Shot, and it was chaos. There was just bit after bit after bit after obscene thing, after death, after RDM, after explosion, after gunfight, fistfight, obscene drama, sabotaging. It was spying on people. Then I would watch in the mornings. Oh, what was his name? Oh my god. How am I forgetting his name? The Polish Rob. I would watch Rob in the mornings.
yeah.
'Cause,
Rafflegator.
that was
Rafflegator,
Rafflegator. Amazing. I'd watch him in the mornings. So coming from PUBG, I like kept an eye on like the just chatting people. So Nim, I watched him on NoPixel as Frank. He was amazing
Forza
at Burger
played for a little
Shot.
while in 3.0, right? At the very
Austin,
beginning?
I liked Sven. I don't really watch a lot of Sven streams, but it was one day it was like a weekend. I was watching Burger Shot, and there was the same reoccurring bit where this angry, rich Asian old businessman would come in and absolutely just humiliate Kevin Whippaloo, and that was Lang Buddha, and he would just torment him. And then one day he set up a business meeting with Kevin Whippaloo, and he brought him to the Rooster's Rest. And I saw the interior of the Rooster's Rest for the first time, and it was this amazing labyrinth. And right then, like a weekend of me streaming, 4 or 5 hours a day, watching NoPixel every day, it was a weekend I was like, I need to apply. Like, I need to get in here. This is the content I want to watch. Because at the time, I was also watching... I was watching the kind of YouTube where people do like not scripted bits, but people, the style of
like
videos
like
were-
Frost with his Rust videos, where he'll like do like,
Yeah, like,
cinematic Frankie on PC stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of like that. I actually, yeah, I was inspired by Frankie
Me
actually
too.
in
I
my
was a big
PUBG days.
Frankie guy back.
I made some PUBG cinematics
Oh, that's
actually.
awesome.
There's some dust somewhere. There's some really shit ones, some okay ones, but I was inspired by like your J Slat, you know, like your people that are just constantly just doing bits while playing games,
Mm-hmm.
and then Notepixel kind of just felt like a culmination of everything I'd ever experienced on Twitch, perfectly thrown into something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game. You know, you have acting and role playing that. I loved acting in school. I did drama in school. It was one of the so in the UK there's at the end of school there's like you can 3 or 4 subjects you can focus on them, and drama was one of them. I did extra work on a few Netflix shows. I tried a few things, and then
Did you ever
Twitch
get
was
any?
I did a few extra things. There's a trailer, and my face is in a single frame for a
Oh,
single Netflix
we gotta
show
find
for the
it.
second season. Pretty cool.
13 Reasons Why.
I am
Poggers, dude.
guy who sits on a rock in one frame.
Oh,
That's me.
shit. Okay.
I'm in the
We gotta
background, and I'm
find
like,
it. What is it?
Yeah, you come on. I know you got the link somewhere. This guy's got
I'll,
a picture. It's his background
This
on
man
his
has a
desktop.
what was
framed photo.
I can't
printed
remember the
out.
name of the show. It's a really bad show. It's for like 8-year-olds. I can't remember.
Veggie Tales?
Hey, it's good money. Extra work is really good money. It's insane. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
So, where was I? So I had just found out, that NoPixel was what it was. So I just spent the next 3 weeks streaming 2 or 3 hours in the morning. So I was still streaming every day, and then applying, studying, learning about roleplay, and I got declined 4 times.
Whoa.
And I knew.
Scary.
So you only get 5 applications.
Yeah.
I knew that this was what was next for me. I had done PUBG 4 years, 7,200 hours. I'm done. I'm over that. I needed something. This was the biggest thing on Twitch. Ever since I started streaming, I had never been streaming the game, right? PUBG was very on its own, and this was the game.
Yeah.
And I knew this was it. This is the chance. This is the opportunity to get somewhere else. And I got in on my 5th application. I actually talked to someone that did the apps once, and they read one of my. It was so humiliating. It was horrible. My apps were dog shit. They're so bad.
What was bad about them?
I just didn't understand roleplay.
Oh, that's right. You didn't.
I thought I did,
Did
but
you
I
end
didn't.
up reaching out to anybody saying, "Hey, I keep screwing up my applications"? No.
No, I just winged it.
Wow.
I just kept on just trying to understand what people are doing, and finally understood the game of give and take. And that's kind of what it is when you boil it down. It's a game of give and take.
So, did you find it hard to transition from a competitive FPS to a competitive FPS with open mics?
Well, here's the thing. PUBG has open mics.
Oh,
it has
so
it
it's
has
an easy transition.
it has
then.
something called all chat on it, and it's something I utilized. I was one of the few people that I saw the content in
Talking
VoIP
at
in
people,
PUBG.
yeah.
There was a bit where I plugged my webcam as my in-game mic,
It's
and I put the
horrible.
game all the way to
Oh,
150%.
Xbox mode. Nice.
Xbox mode on crack, and I would use it, and it was a really funny way to,
Drown out sound and stuff.
to get really good clips, because PUBG there was a website called PUBG Report where it would find Twitch VODs of streamers against other streamers, so you could see when you killed a streamer, and I would have this mic thing, and if I knew someone else that I knew was in the game, I was like, this is the easiest clip ever. All chat, webcam mic, scream into it, run at them. All their sounds are gone. But the most important thing about PUBG is footstep sounds, knowing where they're coming from. And I would call it the cannon, and I would just blast it into their eardrums. And there's so many clips of people just, what's happening? Just stun locked, and then I just killed them. And it was just the stupidest thing, because you could still make out what I was saying. And I think one of them was me shouting get fucked, and then I was like, and then he dies. I'm like, GG man, but it's this webcam mic, just ear blasting, peaking on every. Oh, it was horrible.
That's great.
But the swap to NoPixel from PUBG was It was a stressful one because pandemic.
Really?
Job was lost. Twitch was my income. PUBG, I was comfortable, but I wasn't happy, so I needed to make that jump. And
Was it the pace, or was it outside of the game? Was it factors such as viewership or?
yeah, I would definitely like an outside thing. Like in game, like I'm always loving it, but it's still like the stressful factor that it is my job and it is my income. And swapping over, like last summer, I think I averaged over a couple through like 2 or 3 months where it got like really slow in the DOC days, like end of the summer. Like my average went down to like around 35, 40 viewers, and in comparison, that's what my average was for the 18 months prior to my boom to get Twitch partner. So all my progress over the year prior, so 18 months straight of streaming, I'd have like 25 to 35 to 40 viewers. I then get Twitch partner. I'm then up there in the hundreds, and then I move from from PUBG to GTA, and after like 4 or 5 months of slow decline, I was back where I was, and that like those few months, not just like viewership wise, which is something that you're always conscious of, but like financial wise, it got tough. It got everything declined, and I was like conscious of every single penny that I spent. I had no expenses. Like all my money was paycheck, rent, maintenance of like all the power and everything, and then everything for I would say like 5 or 6 months. And then at the end of the DOC, people kind of recognized Stubble as the DOC guy.
The
'Cause
DOC.
there's always one of those, right? Like
Mhm.
it was Fontaine,
Yeah.
and then it was Stubble. There was a few months where there was nothing really, no one else like really streaming DOC.
You were
and
doing
then Stubble got that recognition, and then I was able to use the momentum from that right into PD application. Then I came into PD running, and the last 8 months have been really good. It's like where I am right now, not including the hiccup there was the last 2 weeks because
Yeah.
you know,
You bunch
No
of
big
bunch
thing,
of cone
dude.
heads.
No?
bunch of not including that, like where I am right now is higher than I ever was in PUBG,
Mm-hmm.
and
You're crushing.
it's been really good because it was really bad, but it was something that I felt I needed to do. So the swap from PUBG to GTA was something that I felt necessary, but it came very bumpy. And I mean, in the end, I'm happy where I am now. I just hope momentum keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, hopefully,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's an awesome trajectory. I think the move is super good. I transitioned from originally I was like a variety streamer, and then I started playing Call of Duty Blackout.
Oh,
And that when it first
Oof.
came out, the BR was so good, and it got
No.
not good fast. But before
No.
that, I was in a top 200 duos or quads, I don't remember, PUBG group. And so we were like in the top 200, and we were doing really good. We like were, I don't want to say the inventors of, but we were early adopters of the smokescreen meta for like late game like circle pushes.
Was it before or after they changed it?
Uh,
I'm trying to think. You all been talking about PUBG, so I want to think about like, when it was.
I don't recall, but it was pretty early, so it might have been before smoke grenades were actually very good, when they were still client side, I think.
Oh yeah, it was dog shit.
Yeah, but you could still use them. And I moved from like shooter to shooter to shooter. I was playing Escape from Tarkov when that came out. I was literally I would have been an alpha supporter of Tarkov, but my bank was like, because I tried to buy it and then I tried to upgrade it to EOD, and then my bank was like, hey, we noticed like two $200 purchases from Russia. We're not letting that slide. And I was like, no, let it slide. So I ended up going through the next day. So I didn't. I streamed that for a little while, back when it was like when almost nobody was streaming it. Like this is like when Willers was like a 2-viewer Andy, right? And I was like chilling in his chat. And then I started watching RP, and then I realized I was like, oh, like this is what I want to be doing. Like I've always played D&D. I've always been like role playing. I've always been like the hypothetical question guy. I've like such a big imagination for things that it like this is the obvious like transition. So, but I didn't have the viewership that you did. So for you to be able to transition into kind of a career move into NoPixel, I think is so sick. How do you have any advice for people that are, if you would consider them like good role players, how to stream better? Because I think both you and Troms do a really good job of like interacting with your chats. You do a really good job of like keeping your streams entertaining. What do you think you're doing differently than other people?
That is a I feel like it's almost impossible to give an answer to that because that's the beauty of Twitch and streams and NoPixel is NoPixel is 250 people on the server every single day with maybe like let's say 100 to 150 streaming it. And these are 100 to 150 streams / TV shows with different main characters, all different styles, and they all entertaining in different ways, right? Like if you open like let's say Occam's Bundy stream recently, like the way the drama of the characters, it feels like like a real drama you see on TV. Yeah. And then you jump on Chief stream, with Fingal Dan, or you jump on I mean, it's the same with Moose Brother with his streams with like the heavy role play and everything. That's no, not you.
Shut up.
The
No, he
wrong
didn't say
different
Moose
brother.
Taffy. He didn't say Moose Taffy.
No, that's Mandem. I meant the other one.
The other one.
Yeah, the other one. So it's like each stream is so different in so many different reasons, and they're entertaining for different reasons. So I think it's just like finding what makes yours entertaining, and then focusing on that, and then I think it just comes naturally, right? There's no YouTube presence for NoPixel where I mean there is, but it's
Not
all just
really,
from like
yeah.
hog clips. There's no out of Twitch presence for NoPixel really that is like a defining factor in people's viewership or like bringing it in. Like you have like Warzone, their streamers become big because of their TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite becomes big because of their YouTube videos. Same with Minecraft on Twitch. You have these categories where these other websites are big factors on the viewership. But on NoPixel, it's like NoPixel is a Twitch thing mainly, and that's kind of like where it exceeds is just bouncing off from other people. Finding people that are similar to you in roleplay and just bouncing off each other and
it's a community.
just like growing together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want when I'm in the Littlemans, I want the people that love Jim for what he is to find Troms on Tim and love him for what he is, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like
Package deal, baby.
we grow together, right? It's like I want the people around me, like if I'm on duty and there's someone I really like patrolling with, and I feel like they mesh well with what like kind of I am.
Mm-hmm.
I want my people to go there and enjoy what they are.
Yeah, there's
Because it's kind of what it is at the end of the day. Like NoPixel is just like TwitchCon but virtual, and everybody's collabing constantly, and it's all about just finding people that is similar to what you are, and then everybody just growing together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a saying.
That's kind of how it is.
Rising tides raise all ships, right? So as we go up, we can pull
Oh,
other people up. with us.
Hey.
Ahoy!
No, still the best pirate voice. I remember when I was like, you're gonna do a seaman voice, and you just
I'm a
did the
pirate!
same. Yeah, it was just that.
Ahoy! I'm a pirate. Oh,
All right,
Oh.
checking camera
Okay.
percentage.
Okay. While you're doing that, I have a little video clip for us to watch.
45%.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna post it.
I love videos. Hooey.
I hope it's like a. I've been doing like a ruh-oh on gym. I'll be like ruh-oh. No, please, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Someone
no.
dug deep.
Oh
Okay.
god.
Cody.
I don't think there's any voiceover, which is there?
I don't
Really?
know. We're gonna find out.
What are you at the timestamp?
Yep.
Oh, I'm not at the timestamp anymore. Hold on.
The timestamp is 5 minutes 45 seconds.
This is one of the greatest moments ever, man. This was so fucking funny. That was like I remember having
little
like
guy. Look at him.
look how nice my old setup. That's the same room. It's just this is my voice before Whitley, by the way. Before
Oh,
Whitley
hey.
destroyed
Okay,
my
before we
voice.
get it started, hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
A quick question for you, Miles. When are you
Yeah,
gonna
what's up?
replace the batteries in that clock?
Oh my god, I did the other day when I cleaned my room. I did it, man.
I don't know, man.
I did it the other day, and
Does-
I took the old battery out. I just didn't put a new one in.
Ah, so you
Okay, so
you
that's
have
not
halfway
replacing the
there.
batteries then. That is just removing the batteries.
I removed the old one. I couldn't find a new one.
All right, I
did
think
half.
I did this without any audio, so I think I found us a good position here. All right, we'll do a 3, 2, 1 play. Everybody ready? And we're just
I
gonna
am
watch
ready.
just a little bit of this clip. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
I like the Kappa. This guy's really embracing Twitch.
I was big on the Twitch meta and everything in my room.
He now has a buggy and a bike over there. The odds that he comes and grabs the UAZ have been
You,
slashed.
This is
massive.
we're
I can
watching.
Massively.
We're
I can
watching
almost hear
Miles in
more
PUBG,
accent.
hiding
yeah,
in
I
somebody
might-
else's car.
I'm gonna be so sad. I see it. You guys see him looting? Look.
Wait, are you also cutting in their
Yes.
point of view?
I'm cutting in cinematic view.
Oh,
So we're
'cause
watching
you
somebody
could save the
sneak up to the
replays.
car. They don't
Yeah.
see him. Miles is wearing an all black outfit with like a mask on, so it's
Oh.
really difficult to see him.
Yeah, that's me right there.
How does he not know?
He
That's
doesn't
me
see him.
right
He's right
there.
next. He could kiss him, and he doesn't see him.
And then boom.
Oh
This
no!
is third person view, right? Like,
This is
does he
the
see you?
cinematic replay view.
obviously he's not playing first person perspective, right? So he's not like backing up.
I think
further
he
and
is.
seeing
I
you.
think he is.
It's just. oh no!
Look, he does a
Oh,
double
God.
take.
He did a double take. Oh god!
No way, dude. Oh, he did do the double.
Oh shit!
But wait for it. He tries to kill me. But the best play of my goddamn life is about to happen.
Wait, what? How does he not know that you're still alive?
Wait, so you jump out of the car and then
Oh,
jump
the
back in the
pan.
car? Oh no! Oh wait! He throws
Yeah.
a pan and kills this man.
Yep.
Incredible! All right, I'll pause it.
Yep.
Wow.
There. Awesome.
Very cool. So actually, here's something that's very interesting that I find about NoPixel is we have people from all over every community. People
Oh,
who are
it's
coming in
amazing.
from every different type of content, whether it was FPS or variety gaming, or we've had literal actors on the server. Felicia Day, we've got MTV stars, the 50, 60-year-old Andy Milanakis on the server. I just love that we have this whole group of people from all over the world who just doing the same thing. I know of at least one person that you've met who previously came from PUBG.
My boy.
Is it Ninja?
McNulty.
Oh,
No, it's oh my god.
I have to pee, gentlemen. I'll let you guys keep going.
Why am I blanking his name? Miles, you know.
Moses?
Yeah, Derek. Moses, that's it. For some reason, I just know him by McNulty, and that's all I can get in my mind.
I honestly think
Moses.
Moses might be he might have been one of the reasons I got into PUBG. So I know it wasn't one of the reasons I got into it, but he was one of the reasons I excelled in it. Is if you don't know Moses' background, obviously everybody knows that he was a caster in PUBG. He was the caster in like some of the biggest tournaments PUBG ever had.
If I might
And-
add to that, Rivington from the Little Man's uncle was also
Yeah,
a huge League of Legends showcaster.
He was.
So it was LCS and all that too. So meeting him, I was a little. Also, Golden Boy. Golden Boy was on the server too. So.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Before Moses was a caster, he was a YouTuber who made guides to PUBG, and he would break down the mechanics of the game. He would break down a lot of how the guns work, everything like that. If I go to his oldest,
I find that so wild. I don't know what it is. I feel like maybe young me, or there's a part of me still maybe that feels this, but starstruck almost, that like
Oh,
we
it's
interact
amazing.
with these kinds of people every single day.
Yep.
It still blows my mind, right? So
I remember it used to blow my mind. And I remember coming to NoPixel. Never ever interacted with anyone big. On my second day in the server, I was walking around, and I remember looking inside a burger shop and seeing Jean Paul, and I was just
Who?
like, Jean Paul. I was like,
can't say I've heard of them.
that's actually XQC, the biggest streamer on the in the entire platform. he was getting like 150,000 viewers on Twitch, and I remember seeing him, and I just remember walking the other way. I was like, "There's no way. I'm not going into a room with that guy. Like, fuck that." And I remember he actually was going through Yellow Pages, and he called me a few weeks later, for some random thing. He was like he was like pranking someone else, and then ended up in a conversation with me. And I remember just doing full Whitley voice, and just it was then I was like, this guy's just the exact same. You
Yep.
know, it's just a guy playing a game, just same
Just
as I
guy.
am. And it was the same with like I quickly realized that, you know, working with Buddha in Rooster's Rest, you
Yep.
know, getting on the Littlemans and Summit arresting us.
Kyle.
Kyle arresting us, you know, running into Kyle all the time, running into S-Fan and Moo Moon the first day,
Yep.
like we're on the Littlemans. We had streamers with like 30,000 viewers between them interacting with us, and we just treat them like they were
They're
anybody
people.
else on the server, and they're just people role playing.
Uber Haxor Nova. Just
And it was amazing. And it was just like that was when I was like, yeah, these guys just they're people like us. And I no longer had that whole like, oh, these huge
Right.
streamers is someone that I am intimidated by. They're
there
just
was
people.
definitely some anxiety at first, at least for me, where it's like, whoa, do I have what it takes to, you know, walk toe to toe to stand where he stood, you know, like that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it's just people, right? It's just people doing what they do. I still feel like I don't do it as well as some people do. You know, and I'm still competing to stand toe to toe with some of the best role players, honestly, in the world. Because I feel like we do something that's extremely unique on the server when it comes to role play. I mean, even the Twitch channels like what's that D&D channel that everyone loves, #1 on Twitch, with the guy who played in Overwatch. I don't know. You guys have probably heard about it before. They only do their streams, their campaigns for like a few hours or whatever it is, and then, you know, they play their characters and then they're done. Some days we go 10, 12,
A lot of
36,
hours.
72
Yeah.
hours. Yeah, you'll
I've done a
Subathon
36-hour stream.
Yeah, I've
Miles
I've
has
done
done
one of
a
those.
444-hour stream.
no, I haven't. I
didn't
I,
sleep
I've only
for
ever
a
done like 30 something.
I heard Miles is actually Ludwig.
You know, it was my thing in 2019. Was I was like the guy in PUBG that just banged out 24-hour streams. I would do multiple 24-hour streams a month. In the year of 2019, I did 29 24-hour streams over that year. I think I did 4 in December. I remember December, I was like, I'm gonna fix my sleep schedule. I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream. The dumbass that I was didn't really, you know, think about when I would wake up. So I ended up ending the stream after 24 hours straight at 7 p.m. Sorry, 7 a.m.
No.
So I'm like, fuck. So I slept for 12 hours, woke up at 7 p.m. and did another 24-hour stream because then I went to sleep the next day at 9 p.m. I was, and I fixed it. I fixed it. So I just did 24 hours. And like, this is the time before subathons, before like people just doing crazy things. A really good friend of mine, Jay Biggles, now a pretty big Tarkov streamer. I used to play PUBG with him every single day. He set the world record, I think it was in 2020, for most hours streamed in a month, where he was streaming PUBG, and he was going like 20 to 30 to more hours every day, sleeping for 6 to 8 hours and doing it again.
Wow.
I think the guy did 500 and I think it was 69 hours in a month.
Nice. That's a
And he
lot of
set the
hours.
world record.
That's
And then it got
insane.
beat like a few weeks later. The
Of
people
course.
were insane. He was insane from that. That was amazing to witness. But yeah, people they do some crazy long streams. I don't really do 24 hours as much. I wanted to start bringing it back at the end of last year, where I would do a 24-hour at the end of every month,
Oh, that'd
because
be
I
cool.
used to do that. But I don't know. I kind of struggled a lot recently around like because there's in every 24-hour stream, there's these 2 to 4 hours of pain and suffering between hours 12 and 19 without fail every time.
There's a solution.
Doesn't matter how long you slept before, doesn't matter how much you eat, doesn't matter how much you exercise. There's a 2 to 4 hour window, and if that window happens at the wrong time, So, maybe that window happens when there's 6 cops on duty and there hasn't been a crime in 2 hours. You know, maybe you're playing PUBG and it's 5 a.m. and there's no queues. You have to wait 10 minutes to get into a game. Maybe it's, the stream is just mellowing out. You haven't had a chat message in 25 minutes. Like it is tough in that window to keep motivated to stay alive.
Yep.
It's a tough battle.
There's a solution for that I
What's
discovered when I was streaming really late, and I found that I started falling asleep at my desk, and I didn't want to pull some sleep. It is a standing desk.
Well,
Oh,
where
I
you
used
going?
to have a standing
back.
desk. I used to have a
back,
standing
I'm joining.
desk, but then I remembered. So I have this desk, which is, if you are familiar with IKEA, this is a kitchen countertop from IKEA.
I
I
see
think
this.
This is just
IKEA.
IKEA. So it's a kitchen countertop from IKEA. There's one here. There's one here. So it's an L shape. Below them, there are just remove the mic, drawers from IKEA. And I spent hundreds on this thing. It's beautiful wood.
It's
I
nice, it's
varnished
pretty,
it earlier.
yeah.
It's
Absolutely
very nice.
beautiful wood.
It is a beautiful purchase that I've acquired for my abode. And I'm very, very impressed by its presence in my room. So I love it. It's awesome. It's perfect. It fits my screens, my PCs. But a single standing desk, there's not enough room for 2 towers, 3 monitors,
Well, hear me
all
out.
my keyboards and
They
stuff.
sell the pistons for standing desks. You can literally just put the pistons under your desk.
I've seen that, but with how my desk is, I don't think that'll work.
Listen, I'm offering
There is-
solutions, and you keep batting them away. Okay,
yeah,
I can only,
keep
I can
shooting
only
them
help people that
down.
want
I'm
to be
shooting
helped.
you down. I've tried it. I've thought about it all.
All right. We are getting near the end of this, and so
Got about 15
to
minutes left.
kind of round things off, Miles, I think you might enjoy this. Something that we do very often, we've hung out before. We play a couple of characters that have met each other at some
Yeah,
point
a
in
few
time.
times.
This is a few times. One thing that we do on the Littlemans is when we get somebody, we like to get to know them. So one of the questions we ask them, what are your dreams and aspirations, and where do you see yourself in however many months? So Miles, dreams and aspirations, what are your goals, and where do you see yourself?
This is my invisible
in
gun, so you
a
have to answer.
year? Yeah, he's got these /E stick up.
Hold on, wait.
Stick up 2 so you can run around while doing it.
Dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, like what do you want out of life? Like if you could grab life by the grapefruits and squeeze it into a glass and then sip on that glass with a little umbrella straw and be like, that's delicious. What would it be?
I think I'm currently at a place in my life and my career where I'm getting comfortable with, everything. Like, my where I am on Twitch, where I'm going on Twitch, where I am financially. I'm getting comfortable after a lot of years of uncertainty. I would like to make sure I have consistency so I don't have like financial worries, but I want to be able to be in a place where I can help people like they help me. Because the thing about Twitch is that's the only reason I am where I am, the only reason, this computer's on is because the generosity of like the communities that have supported me over the years. And I want to be able to help people in ways that other people have helped me. Like the amount of support over the last half a decade has been insane. There was a situation 2 or 3 years ago where my car completely just died, and it was in the PUBG era, and there was a guy that was going around, and there was and he was a massive, oiler, as people say, and there was a pretty big streamer in the PUBG community that knew about me, and she was just going around with this oiler and just sending him at little streamers, and like the guy gave me $1,000, no hesitation, just like, there's $1,000. Then he went to my friend that was struggling with his college, $1,000 to him, $1,000. Like the ability to just change people's day, month, week, year in just a few moments, like that is amazing. Like I want to be able to help people in ways that I've been helped. That's like, that's my aspirations.
Yeah,
Answer that question.
that's noble.
And I think that like falls in line with where I see myself as hopefully being able to do that, you know?
Little
6 to
little
12
Mr.
months.
little Mr. Beast esque. Throw some
I
dollar dues at people.
don't know if I want to be like, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. You know, today we're gonna be.
Check out the
Like, that's
Miles
a
Away
lot.
burger available on Uber Eats.
That's not me. You know, I can be loud, but when it comes to like stuff like that, I kind of struggle to have like that whole like, you know, insane bubbly energy to things.
I can't do it.
When
I
it
can't.
comes
I
to
can't fake
It's,
the hype.
it's not me, and it would feel ungenuine to fake that. You know, like
I felt that about Twitch or streaming or content creation since the very beginning. Is you have to be yourself, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe some people see more success by being this 300% version of themselves,
Yeah.
right? But I'm always just like, just genuine reactions, genuine person, and people will enjoy you for who you are, right?
You know who my idol kind of is in that regard? Disguised
Who's that?
Toast. The dude does
Toast
not
is
thank
amazing.
his subs. He doesn't thank his subs. He says, I don't listen. He's of course I appreciate you. Of course it means a lot. But I'm putting on a show. I'm not going to stop every couple seconds. And they're just like, fine, that's fine. And then you see other people on the other spectrum going like, oh my God, 5 gifted subs. I'm going to fucking die. And I've literally, I promised myself that I wouldn't be disingenuous to my viewers.
Right.
And so I've had people donate like 150 subs, like gift 150 subs. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude, that's crazy. Like I know I'm not like freaking out right now, but that's genuinely affecting me emotionally. Like, thank you so much. That's incredible. And there's always a part of my brain that goes, man, you know, if you freaked out and made this a big clip and lost your mind, you could, you know, farm it for views and more people would want to do it because they love making people freak out. I just can't do it, man. I cannot make myself do it.
In the same boat with that. Just, I don't like being disingenuous, you know. I just would rather.
And
I
people
feel like
appreciate
there's nothing
that.
wrong with doing a good bit, you know. If it's for the bit, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some humor behind it, but
Sometimes I do it
to,
for one prime. If somebody does one prime, I'll lose my mind.
That's
primes are
good.
pretty good, man. They're pretty good.
Hydra,
Yes, sir.
Hydra, please.
That's me.
Same question, same traffic.
Oh God.
Where do you see yourself? What are your dreams and aspirations?
Yeah, I don't know.
In or inside or outside of the server, it doesn't matter. Just
Yeah,
you in general.
I'm kind of struggling with that right now. I've always been the guy that's like, okay, I'm not gonna quit. When it gets hard, I'm not gonna quit. When I'm struggling and everybody around me is telling me to give it up, I'm not gonna quit. I know in my heart of hearts, I can make it in NoPixel. I know that I make people laugh. I have other streamers telling me like I'm like just days away from partner. Like I know it, but I'm pulling like 2 or 3 viewers. And it's really hard to put your whole heart into something when it's not giving you the traction that you feel like you deserve. And so I try to internalize that and I try to go, okay, what can I, as a content creator, be doing better? And then it's probably my own failings that I don't do those things, like post more clips, tweet more, do more things to socially engage, post to my Discord more, right? Stuff like that. But I kind of was in this weird position where I started blowing up. I was like starting my stream with like 60 to 80 viewers. I was capping at like 800, 1,000 viewers for a while. And this was all from the Stanky Leg Tommy T situation. And all the Tommy T viewers, the Zerka viewers, started coming over and they were like a regular part of the stream. And then tragedy struck and I had to move. Like I had no choice. Like the house was being sold suddenly. And I was gone for 2 weeks. I had no internet. I had no power. Like we were just like struggling to figure it out. I was tweeting regular, trying to keep it going. And when I came back, dude, it was like day 1. And it's just like trying to stay positive from that experience and like keep going. I'm surprised I still get on the server and laugh some days. So that's why when people are like, when are you gonna play Stanky Leg? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like I'm fucked up about Stanky Leg. That's why I'm having so much fun on John Hydra. So if you had to ask me, what are my dreams and aspirations? It would be to make enough money streaming that it felt like I could quit my day job. Not that I would quit my day job, But if I felt like I could, then I would start to feel successful. And then I'd ride it out for a while and then see if I could find other ways to keep it going. Because I approach this from like a very like realistic, like I wanted this as my job. I say that to everybody. I never try to trick anybody. Oh, I'm a streamer that does this for fun. Okay, only millionaire streamers say that, right? I want to be doing this, and I also want it to be the thing that lets me pay my bills because it fulfills me. I've always been the person that says, let your work revolve around your life, not your life revolve around your work.
Yep.
So I love streaming on NoPixel. I love it so much. I think that's obvious when you see me playing in the server. I give it my whole heart. I forget to read my chat. If you listen really carefully, you'll hear a ding in my chat sometimes. Because on my fourth monitor, I have an app that hooks into the Twitch API that when people chat, it makes a small ding sound. So I know to read my fucking chat.
Oh my God. I thought about getting that.
It's called Chatty. Yeah. I'm so fucking bad at reading my chat because I get so immersed in my own role play. People like subbing and donating. I'm like, oh fuck, thanks so and so and so. So yeah, I guess if I could like.
I think your chat was on your fourth monitor.
Yeah.
Have it on your second monitor on the left side. So right to your right, it's right there. So it's in your peripheral vision. So the chat moves. Someone puts a message. You see it in peripheral vision.
My desk's a little messy. Hopefully,
Is there anything
that docks me? Hold on, let me.
I bought a monitor mount. I mounted a monitor right above my main one, and then chat is literally at the very bottom of the top monitor.
I used to do that. That was
I've
wild
got,
for
like-
my neck.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
What I'm focusing
neck
on, and then
problems
like
from that.
right above that is where the chat is.
Just double check.
I got neck problems from it. I couldn't do it anymore.
Sorry, my fucking desk is a mess. So here's you guys, right? Ka-chow. Here's you guys.
That's me.
Whoa.
That's Miles.
And then here's 2 monitors,
Hey, look, that's my video.
and then there's the other one.
Heckin' poggers, dude.
That's where my
is
chat
on the
goes.
left
Yeah.
side.
That's almost exactly my setup before I moved my my stuff recently. But just had everything on the right.
You want to see something wild that I've done with my setup recently?
Yeah.
I grabbed something that I've had on the floor of my room for like 2 years, and that is
Right.
my ultra wide monitor that I just never used because didn't have a need for it. And then I was like, what if I just had more in my streaming PC? So now I have the chat, the OBS, the stream alerts, Spotify, Discord, and I'm just like, I'm in the middle of this zone of
Yeah.
monitors. It's insane.
That's how I feel too. You know, I've got the left, the right, the main. I've got one above.
One
I'm
up
just, like, in
top.
the station. You know, it's. Girlfriend's mom commented on it recently. It's quite
Battle
the setup
station.
you got there.
But yeah, to get back to the question, it would be my most recent aspirations would be to start having, if I could get back up to like 10 or 20 viewers, like when I start my stream, that would be incredible. Because like nothing is more like exciting than when you have people talking in your chat. I think that's
When
the
you
best.
say hi and people say hi back straight away.
My man.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but that's so true. When you get your chat talking to each other, oh, it's the best. When you look over and they're having a conversation, you're like, I've made it.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's always a good feeling to.
I still have a little bit of time for Troms to answer the
Yeah,
question.
Troms. Hold on.
He always asks other people, but no one ever asks him.
I was thinking about if
Fan
you
go.
guys were to ask me how I would answer this question, and honestly, I really don't know because I have never been happier with what I'm doing. Used to work a full-time job. I
remember.
Yep. Just did streaming, a variety streaming, like as a part-time thing. I'd come home from my job and then I do my time streaming. I'd do like 4 to 6 hours depending on that, and then spend the rest of the time with my girlfriend, and like it was a lot. Then I had an opportunity to leave my job a while back, and streaming was it was doing okay for me at the time, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take like a year off. We'll see how it goes, just because I got some savings. Let's just give it a shot. And so far it's been working out. It's been working out pretty well. And so I can't really say that I want to see myself doing anything different than what I'm doing now. Do I hope that, things elevate, things, go to the next level? Sure, why not? I think everybody hopes that, right? Everybody hopes for success. But I'm just so, I hate to use the word content because it just doesn't seem right. But that
Sounds
is
good to
exactly
me.
what I am. I'm just happy and
I think
content
true
with.
contentment, man. I think that's so rare. So I think
Yeah,
it's great.
it's a good feeling, and so I just hope that doesn't go away. Is kind of where I'm at. But thank you for asking. It's I don't know really if I'd change anything at this point.
One
Got
of the
good
old
friends.
questions.
Can I add something to my thing that I said?
No.
Because
Yes.
I feel like it was kind of negative a little bit. I am absolutely in love with this podcast. I think about it all week. It has become the thing. Sometimes when I'm playing a new game, I like wake up thinking about the new game. Like, oh, I could try this and I could do that. It's so exciting. That's been this podcast for me. I'm really in love with it. I really want to push it and I want to get it out there and I want people to see it and I want to improve and I want to like find ways. And I know that like Troms52 and I are going to keep getting better at being better hosts and we're going to have more great guests on. And hopefully Miles, you'll come back and join us for more episodes later. Dude, it's so sick. I'm really enjoying it so much. I'm really in love with it. I'm so happy with it. It's been like a
It's
Oh,
genuine
I love
source of joy.
podcasts. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. You've been getting me up this early to be able to be a part of it, so I must be enjoying myself, which is rare to be up this early.
I have a bit.
With us kind of reaching the end here, I know this has become a regular thing with me and our guests. But Miles, I love you. You are my boy. You
Happens every
will
time.
forever be my boy. We've had amazing times together that I will never
100%.
forget. You inspire me. You ground me. Feel like
Get
I'm
over it a little.
I feel like I'm speaking vows at a wedding or something like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm pouring my heart out. But
You genuinely are an incredible content creator. You're a great
Yeah.
role player. You're a great person.
Good-
You're really
good
good to have around,
friend.
man.
Oh, yeah,
good
you guys
friend.
gotta chill.
No.
really good role player, and I really appreciate you, my man. The last like year and a half doing role play and hanging out has been some of the best. It really has
It's been amazing. Yeah,
It's so
and
good,
I'm so excited to see what comes. Like, it's only gonna get crazier.
That's right. It only ever has. It's been an always uphill with us. It's been so
Yep.
good.
Next time we're
Ah.
gonna break 3 lifers out of prison.
That's right.
So two last
dude.
things before we go.
They're gonna hire us as mayors if we do that.
Miles, can you please plug anything that you're working on, any charities that you're really into, any like new stuff, your YouTube, whatever you want people to go to, where do you want them to check you out?
I mean, honestly, I'm just addicted to my stream grind. That's kind of all I focused on. My YouTube is very much on the back burner. I mean, you pulled out one of the videos, and like that thing has not been touched in almost 2 years. I think was my last
Yeah,
video.
2020,
So, yep, it was a cyberpunk release video. So
Oh, nice.
Nice.
don't touch my YouTube because you won't see anything. Because I ain't doing that. But Twitch, I'm there every single day, midday UK time. Got a new schedule I'm trying out where 5 days a week I'll be doing like 8 to 12 hours. That's probably the days you're gonna see the little ones. But Tuesdays and Saturdays gonna be my shorter days of nice little like 4 to 8 hour streams.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
TV/Miles_away.
MYLES.
Yep, it's got a
And
Y.
for our last thing, I want to start a new bit. Miles, Troms and I are both going to give you an emote from NoPixel to do. Could you please try to emulate the emote to the best of your abilities?
Oh God, which one?
We're both going to pick one. We haven't thought of it. This is the first time I'm bringing it up.
If it's Ethink 2, then don't worry.
Oh, okay. I love it.
The arms crossed.
You
Should we
think
give him the
too?
hard one? Should we
Yeah.
go with Orange Justice? Dance.
No, I'm
5037?
How
not-
about
5037? Oh yeah, I
let's
know
do
that one.
let's do SWAT Go.
SWAT Go? I don't know what SWAT
is-
Go.
what's SWAT Go?
I know SWAT Freeze.
That's
No,
Rally.
SWAT Rally.
That's
That's
SWAT
Rally.
My bad. SWAT
That's
Rally.
Rally.
My bad. Yeah, okay. SWAT
Know your
Rally.
SWAT. Know your SWAT mode.
Sorry, sir.
SWAT point forward. SWAT point right. SWAT point left.
Oh,
See, we used to do all the SWAT modes. So like when I was on Whitley and the Roosters Rest, I'd be like, I'll get all that food right now. It's gonna be over there. And I was like, do you remember that? And I was like,
Yep.
Don't go that way. You want to get all your ass over that way. You gotta do that. The SWAT emotes are amazing.
Love being
love.
inspired by people who are so emotive, like Stephen Hayes, and just wanting
my
to
God.
use more emotes. It's just it adds something. We talked about this last time, but it just adds something to
So much.
this.
I still do it, even on Stubble. If I'm talking, I'm like, yep,
All right,
yep. You know what's
Miles,
going on?
you know the emote I'm gonna pick because actually I'll let you guess. It is the most used and the best. Oh, actually, that is.
Yeah.
For those of you who can't see, he's doing /E forget it, which is the like, yeah, forget about it emote. I
Forget
was
about
thinking
it.
the one that is bound on every one of our characters to an F key,
Oh no.
and
Slump?
you use it. Okay, all right, okay.
Fall over 9.
Come
Fall
on,
over
dude.
3. I have an F9.
Come on, it's the one we use. We're having a conversation with somebody. You want to
Hold on.
drive the point home.
Ready?
Okay. Yes, you got it. Yes, Miles.
Go
Yes.
down.
/E down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was Conv 1.
I
I
waiting
remember
for it.
that.
I knew you'd get
Yep.
it. Yep. /E down. Good
Oh, like
shit.
the-
Miles, thanks,
why
dude.
one?
Thanks so much for joining
Why?
us, dude. Really appreciate it. You're a great
Yeah.
guest. You're a
Been
great
good.
streamer, great RPer.
We'll have you back at some point
Yep.
in time.
Forget about it.
It's always
Forget
All right,
about
thanks,
we
boys.
will.
Yes
Forget
Pixel,
all about
episode
you.
3.
See you later.